now it's doing fun stuff. Gotta love technology. Coming back in.
What's this video of addressing my past?
It's clickbait. It's a silly little video essay. It's actually probably one of my like proudest internet works, to be honest. 'Cause I actually like wrote it. Da, 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 da. Our cameras aren't up yet. You can, the stream is up. Everybody can hear us. So that's one step that's achieved. You see, the unfortunate part of this new fucked bullshit system where our cameras go dark on Streamlabs unless I have Discord as the primary application is that I can't check the status of the stream without
It's on.
without our cameras disappearing. Yeah, it's up, but I don't know if we're gonna like if we have any frame skipping situations or anything like that. I'm just not gonna know.
You just it honestly sounds like you need like a PC, a new one, and you could get like two monitors or something.
Shaw, Shaw.
I got my taxes back, and I got $4,000. So, how much did you get?
I didn't do my taxes yet.
Well, you need to hurry. You got like 12 days.
Yeah, last year I did it on the day, and that's probably what I'm gonna do this time too.
Why don't you just do it early?
I don't know, 'cause I'm lazy.
Because what happens on the day there's like a fucking tornado?
Well then,
Or in
shit.
your case, a hurricane. You have a hurricane every other weekend.
My
That's like
mom
a 50
keeps
50
my
shot.
mom keeps telling me that you don't even actually have to hit the deadline unless you owe them taxes. Like if you're getting a refund, they don't give a shit.
Probably. You may get fined because you're supposed to file, but it's like who are they gonna go prosecute and get onto? The guy who they owe money to, or the guy who owes them like $20,000?
Yeah, exactly.
They're not gonna. I don't feel like they're gonna like fucking bust your door down and be like, "Listen here, Buster, we owe you money here."
You were supposed to send us a document that says that we owe you money, and you didn't do it. You're under arrest, Mister.
And the only reason why they owe you money is because they take more money out of your check than they're supposed to.
Did you ever hear that news story about the person who had like billions of dollars accidentally put in their bank account for like 20 minutes?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And they just
I don't know
took
why they couldn't
they
have.
took it right
You should have
out.
just wired transferred 10 million and been like, oh,
What happened to it? I don't know.
there's a chance it wouldn't even notice. Out of a fucking $1 billion, 10 of it's missing. That's like sitting there going, "Hey man, where's my fucking dime at?"
Yeah, where the fuck's my time? But I mean, yeah, honestly, if I had billions of dollars in my account, I probably would be like, yeah, let me get like I'd be cautious about it. I would be like too much of a pussy to like take generational wealth, but I'd be like, you're not gonna miss like 25,000 out of this billions.
Yeah, like that's not generational wealth. Like, come on, no. 10 million. I feel like 10 million is a fair number. You throw 10 million, go big or go home. The shitty thing about that is like, if it was $1,000 or $100 or something like that, you can make the argument you didn't notice. But it's such an unimaginable amount of money that you're like supposed to be having or whatever. Like you can make they can make the argument that it's just theft because you know it's not yours, which sucks.
But it's like, it's my fucking account. What was it doing there, idiots?
That's fair.
I thought that
Um,
I was being given a nice gift from the government or something of billions of dollars.
So, speaking of losing my life and going to jail forever for fucking theft. All right.
Oh?
Oh, yeah, perfect transition. You see that shit? Um, anyway, I almost died last Saturday.
Congratulations.
So, listen, I was driving on the highway at night coming home from work, and this car is flipped upside down on like I'm in the right hand lane, and it's in the right hand lane. It's upside down, and it's got like debris everywhere. All right, so I see it really late because it's 12 o'clock at night. I'm tired, and it's a black vehicle, which doesn't fucking help. So I fucking like this, right? And I fucking did a whole 360 in the road. All right, and I land it, and I pull over, I hop out of the car, I call 911. I start running to this vehicle because I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's a vehicle. It's upside down, right? But when I get there, there's no one inside, thank God. My friend tells me that that happens often. People will, I guess it's often for like someone like will steal a car and then they'll wreck and then they'll leave the wreck, right?
Ah, okay, okay.
Does that make sense? But at the time, it was spooky. I'm like, dude, where the fuck are these people at, right? There's no one in the fucking car. Uh, but that shit was scary as fuck.
Scary as shit. That sounds very scary.
So there's my story of the day. I thought that'd be entertaining to at least share with the classroom and show and tell.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you almost die, you want to talk about it. It's an interesting experience.
It's the first time I've ever done a whole fucking 360 in a car like that.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine that. That'd be very scary.
That's some Dom Toretto shit. I felt like I was in Fast and the Furious.
Fucking Fast and Furious over here. Fucking family,
Um,
whatever. That guy, the guy who says family.
uh, so now is it the Switch time to talk? Or talk about the Switch or whatever you want to talk about?
We could talk about the Switch. There was something else in my mind that I was about to
What's that?
talk to you about, and then I forgot.
Was it something about tariffs?
No, but that is the driving force of the Switch 2 conversation. In that, I think we all know why these prices are so high, folks. I think we all
It's because
know.
price gouging.
Maybe a little bit it's that. But consider the following: the console. I don't know if you knew this fact, Brad. This is a true science fact for you. The Japanese edition of the console is like $100 cheaper. And they region locked it just so Americans could not take advantage of that. So I think they're pissed about the tariffs and they're raising their prices accordingly for the tariffs and punishing the American consumer by region locking the Japanese Switch so they can't just buy a Japanese Switch. Because the Switch 1 was not region locked because it was the same price everywhere, so it didn't matter.
It's interesting. This sounds like what VPNs are made for.
No, no, but it's not how it works, unfortunately. Well, I guess
You can't
now,
say
no,
it's
I guess now it kind of is how it work because like all the games are digital anyway. So it's like, yeah, just go on the eShop. It's not like having the physical edition means anything anymore. So yeah, just use a
dude. That's what
Japanese
they.
Switch, go on the Japanese eShop. What
Uh, what's it called? Fuck. What was I gonna say? I got distracted because my mom sent me a text. Oh, physical copies don't even fucking matter anymore anyway. Did you not see the Switch 2? Little chips aren't gonna have the game on them.
I just alluded to that. Yes. It's pretty
That's fucking
fucked.
bullshit.
I've heard it's like even worse than like how the PlayStation and the Xbox do it, where like the PlayStation and the Xbox, like you have to download most of the game, but like a little bit of it's in there. But the Switch 2 game cards are basically glorified download codes, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, all it is, from what I heard, all the chip is access key to download the game online.
Interesting.
So there's no actual data on it other than the fact that it's like can download game equal true or
Which
whatever the
sucks
fuck it. I'm
because
not
like Switch was kind of the last bastion of that. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of game data you had to download when you put the card in, but like a lot of the game was just on the card in the Switch.
right, and then you could transfer it to different consoles.
Well, what you can't do in this case is it just like a one you pop it in and you download the game and then like you don't even have to have the card in there, but the card's just like dead now because you used it to download it. Is that how it works?
I guess I don't know. And my biggest question is like if let's say you had like two switches, could you then not download it a second time? And then also, uh, like, yeah, can you not? I fucking god damn it! I don't know why I keep losing my thought. I feel so fucking stupid right now. Uh, I don't
Bad
know. It gives me a lot
skipping,
of questions.
folks.
And then they announced Deltarune
I did hear about this. I did hear about Deltarune. I don't know what they actually said, but I heard that it
June
was in
5th.
there.
It's coming out June 5th.
The whole thing? Just like Deltarune the game?
I assume it's the whole thing. If not, it's most of it because it's chapter 3 and 4.
Okay.
And what's it called? I went ahead and scheduled off work for it, so I got those 2 days off, baby.
Nice, nice. So you're gonna get a
It's
Switch
got
2? Is it coming on Switch 1? Do we know?
it's coming out on. I know it's coming out on the Switch 2, and it's coming out on Steam, PS, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Okay. That feels like the kind of game they would backport. Hope they do.
What did she say? Me fucking. Oh my mom was sending me pictures of her town. Like the rain has been so bad. Oh, you're in fucking Florida. I guess you don't fucking know. It's been like Tornado Alley and shit up here.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, we've had a lot of tornadoes destroy a lot of the towns around here, which this part of the country is Tornado Alley, so we get more tornadoes than any other place in the United States. Um, and there's been a lot of them here lately. Uh, like to take an example of how like bad it's been. The other day, and a few towns over, we had softball size hail, and it was 81 degrees.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know anything about tornadoes. Do you know how they form?
No, how do tornadoes form? Tell me.
So so wind in general is just molecules in the air moving from high pressure to low pressure. All right. So I don't know if you remember your high school science class, but in high school they teach you that you got molecules and they bounce around. All right. And when molecules are hot, they bounce around faster, and when they're cold, they bunch up. Right. So what ends up
Hmm.
happening though is this creates because gas is like a liquid. All right, and you have to. I'm sure this. I'm fucking butchering this, but like things get denser the colder they get for the most part. Think of like ice and water and steam, right? Steam is like super not dense, and then it condenses into water, and then it condenses even further and it goes to ice, right?
Hmm.
Well, the air kind of does that, but on a smaller scale. So what ends up happening is you got like cold air and hot air, and it makes the molecules move from hot to cold. That's what causes wind. God, you look like you're fixing to fall asleep.
No. No.
Uh, but I don't know why I'm trying to give you this whole huge fucking in-depth explanation anyway.
About molecules and shit. Yeah, get to the point, bro.
The point is that when you have cold air, like it's fucking hailing and it's super fucking hot, it causes wind, and that's what creates tornadoes and shit. Shit fucking
Okay.
sucks.
Okay. No, that sounds pretty gay. Hope you guys are like okay and stuff.
You can't do that. You used gay negatively
Oh
in a
yeah,
derogatory
I'm going to
fashion.
jail. It's over.
Canceled.
Cancelled.
Mama La Kamala's gonna put you in a corner now.
Mama Wakama.
I can't believe they started that whole like she's gonna be the mother of America. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the best timeline. Or the best tagline, not timeline.
It's gonna sound mean, but I feel like a white person would be better at that role than a black person.
Okay.
Just because there's
Sure.
more just because there's more white people in America. So I feel like more people would like see someone that looks like them as their mother. Does that make sense?
Okay, Kramer.
I don't I don't think she was the best one to do that for.
Something
And
upside
honestly,
down with a fork up your ass.
and honestly, I would love for like some of these fucking politicians. They put all this makeup on and stuff to try to look younger, like fucking Nancy. I feel like if these people would just look fucking older on purpose, they could go for like grandmother of the United States, try to run that way. Everybody loves grandmas.
Everybody loves a grandma. Gotta have a grandma. So yeah, the grandma of the United States would be pretty good. Maybe that'll be what Hillary Clinton runs on in 2028.
I doubt she'll run again.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think until proven otherwise, until somebody else proves that they're able to be the guy. Have we talked about the guy theory of politics on here?
No.
I've talked about this on Trans Fat Experience. This is a tweet that I saw that really resonated to me. And it's I don't remember who it was. I gotta see if I can find it. But the idea is it's the guy theory of politics, and it's that to be an effective political party, you have to have the guy. And Donald Trump is one of the most effective the guys in history. And right now, we on the left do not have the guy. So unless we can find a better the guy, I think our nominee next time is going to be AOC. That's my assumption.
God, she's fucking terrible.
I don't think she's terrible. I'm a dirty little leftist. I think AOC is great.
I just wanted to let you know on our because you can't see the stats of the stream, and I have to like do the fucking chat because your
Yeah,
computer's booty cheeks.
sure.
My boring speech about molecules put us to -1 viewers. So I hope you're happy with that.
-1 viewers.
Like we got like anti fucking.
So yeah,
views
somehow
that.
somebody is like, I need you. I would like to pay YouTube to subtract a view from this video. And it's like, but there's already no views on it. It's like, okay, -1 then. It's
I feel like that's gonna be like Twitch's new idea because Twitch is such a shit platform where they make terrible decisions.
someday somebody will watch the show. My entire the small little Riley army I have all hates you. So nobody watches this show. But that's a lie. Gingy watches this show. If you can't count on anybody else, you can count on Gingy. Gingy has reported that he listens to the show and that he thinks we're funny. So we got one satisfied customer so far.
This is why we need to run an ad That way, how fucking amazing would it be if we get 1,000 views a fucking week on this shit?
on
You know what
this
I'm saying?
slop.
Yeah. So then everyone either has to come to this content or they won't get any content because you'll start focusing on this shit.
That's true. If we were getting 1,000 views a stream, I would probably scale back some of my other efforts.
And take this one a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, probably like do like a couple days a week, like a radio show. If we were doing that good, like
If we were doing that good and you're gonna try to schedule me for a couple days a week, you'd have to pay me. But I'd do this as a part-time job. I feel like this would be fucking banging as a part-time job. If I was making $200 a week doing this, I'd do it as a part-time job.
I don't know about to be making $400 a week, which is how much we'd have to make for you to be making $200 a week. That's yeah, it'd be real popular to pull that off on YouTube nowadays.
Well, I mean, it'd have to be through merch and Patreon and shit like that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's still a lot though. Let's say you did $5 a Patreon, which I don't even know we'd fucking do. That'd be more work. But let's say $5 for Patreon.
We'd have to do
What's
some
that
sort
divided
of
by
like
200?
we'd have to do like some sort of monthly pre-recorded bonus episode that we like had a plan for and was good.
It would be 10. 10 is 50. 20 is 100. You'd have to have 400 people pay for it. So that'd be an insane conversion rate on 1,000 views of like a stream. Can you imagine that though? You could boast that you have a 50% conversion rate and
Wait,
turn half your viewers into
400
sales.
people would have to pay $5 for us to make $400? I don't think the math checks out here.
I was doing $200 a week.
Oh.
But no, because that'd be enough for the fucking week. Patreon is a whole month, so you'd have to multiply that by 4. So you fucking fucked up my math. What was the number I said?
I don't fucking know.
It was 50, 10, 20. It was 40. 40 times 4 is 1,060.
I don't even like these conversations. This like feels pretentious to be like, if we were making like $1 billion, like let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
get
gonna be very made $1 your life.
let's get 4 people to like our show first before we get 400.
I gotta get some more of my expensive stuff taken care of, like my fucking colonoscopy and shit. I gotta get.
Oh, is that
But
because you
after I
were
get that
a
done,
sick little boy, so you had to get colonoscopies at 19 or whatever? You're not 19. You're like 22.
23. I'm the same age as you, dickhead.
I know.
Anyway, what I want to do is I want to get the those Gordon Ramsay TV dinners. I'm gonna send them to you, and we're gonna eat them on
Oh
stream.
yeah, we gotta do the Gordon Ramsay TV dinner thing.
They're fucking good. I should have got one before I came home.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get the like Guy Fieri like steak tater tots or whatever it was.
To me, that one wasn't one of my favorite ones, but it's good. Like the thing I hated about them was tater tots. Just tater tots in the microwave is already.
Yeah,
like,
they come out a little soggy. Yeah, I get you.
But
or I feel like the other Guy Fieri ones sound good too. Like Guy Fieri's got the right thing going on. I also just like that guy.
Like it's got cheese sauce and veggies, and the steak is actual steak. So
okay.
This was before Trump's tariffs, by the way. So now that we have tariffs, it may not be real steak. It may be like ostrich or some shit.
Yeah, true.
Right? But at least beforehand, it was real shit when I had it. Before Trump's tariffs.
Man, I fucking hate Donald Trump. Like, I don't go into anti-Trump tirades too much because like it's played out. People are doing it for me. Like, if you've heard somebody go on an anti-Trump tirade, I probably agree with everything they're saying. Unless they're saying some crazy shit. So don't try to turn this around on me. I understand there are limitations, but like just so many decisions where it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we putting ourselves through this? Why are we ruining our relationship with every fucking country ever for fun?
I feel like there's something I'm missing because obviously I'm not a fucking genius. I'm just a random retard on the internet. But some of these things, I don't know if it's Trump or the tariffs or what, or maybe people are just trying to suck his dick and like or whatever. But he is bringing a lot of manufacturing to the United States, that I agree with. Destiny makes a good point. He said that for the majority of our stuff, we should just be the tail end, right? When it comes to manufacturing in the US, right? Like, why would you spend your time making something minute and ridiculous when we could spend, or we can make more money building like super cool shit? Uh, what's it called? But like, he brought, it was a Nissan factory, a Toyota factory, and then the big one is the semiconductors factory here in the U.S. that they're bringing. And I feel like there's another big factory that I'm forgetting somewhere. Oh, Apple. Apple's gonna build iPhones here in America too. Uh, like that's got to be a win, right?
I mean, I guess that's kind of a win, but like, I don't think a lot of companies are gonna bite. Like, I didn't know Apple bit. That's a pretty good one. But like, a lot of companies are just gonna keep doing what they're especially companies outside of the US who are just like pissed about this. Are just gonna fucking not do it and just raise their prices because of the tariffs. And like people are gonna still buy those things, probably out of spite for Donald Trump. So the economy
But
will persist in that way.
my whole thing is too is all of the tariffs that he set are either equal to or lower than tariffs that they have set on us. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where if we try to play on an even playing field, all right, and you're mad about that, are you even worth like being a friend anyway? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like annoying, like shady shit, but like that's kind of what you have to deal with. And like, I just don't think this is the right move. I think we're kind of.
Why do we have to deal with it? Like, right, this would be the example of it would be like Canada basically saying, America, you have to give us money or we don't like you.
But here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing, right? I don't give a shit about like the government. The people who are affected by this the most are like you and me, the consumer. Like, I don't like whatever. The government's not getting the proper respect or whatever. They're getting charged tariffs to import in. Like whatever. I don't give a shit what we're importing to other countries. I give a shit what we're consuming and purchasing here as the American people. And when that shit fucking rockets up in price because Trump wants to have a dick measuring contest with every other world leader, I'm not into that. I don't think you should do that.
Yeah, but Riley, the thing is that the reason why countries like not Greenland, maybe Greenland, the reason why countries in the Europe like Sweden and Finland and the UK and all this stuff, Canada is a good example. They got free healthcare, free education, and good social services. The only social service that the United States have that a lot of European countries don't have is the food stamps program. Like we give food to like poverty-stricken people. We just give it away, right? And there's no really other country that just gives people food for just existing. Um, what's it called? But they're able to have all these cool programs that we want that they don't because they charge us these tariffs, right? So it's one of those things of like, well, don't you want us to succeed too?
And no, they don't, because like it's a hard position, right? Where it's like these things are bad and like they should be reevaluated. But the way Trump's just like, yeah, I don't fucking care. no sort of,
It-
no
it's
sort
not
of,
even that.
no sort of soft negotiation is going to occur here that will make sure our relations with this nation remains intact. I'm just gonna fucking charge him. Fuck it.
See, Riley, how would you feel? How would you feel if every fucking Friday I come over there and I punch you in the fucking face and I take your TV and I take your pillows and I take all your electronics, right? I do it every fucking Friday, all right? Take all your shit. Uh, would you? Let's say you've dealt with it for 20 years, right? It's just business norm at this point. You're used to like whenever you get something and acquire it, I come and take it on Friday, right? Well, one day maybe you think you want to renegotiate. Would you talk to me about it, or would you just be like, no, you need to stop it. You need to stop taking my shit, right? Or would you want to have a conversation where instead of taking all of my shit,
It's a little
just take half of
different
it?
though, Brad, because in this scenario you're
It is because it's
describing, you're not benefiting me in any way. Whereas the our relations with these countries are benefiting the American people with the things that they're importing. So like if you were doing that to me, but like you were also the only reason I had food to eat in my fridge, that would be a different
yeah,
situation.
but
Where if
we're
I wanted to
benefiting.
renegotiate, I might be like, hey, this is a little unfair. Why don't we try to like to trickle it back a little bit, like very
We're
touchy.
we're benefiting, but we're benefiting in a very piss poor way, right? We're benefiting, but we're not getting anything out of the investments that we're making. Like the military is a good example, right? We have the strongest military in the world. Cool. We have military bases and we protect like all of Europe. We got military bases in like Japan. We have military bases in South Korea. We have all these military bases all around the world. And not only do they defend America, but they also defend all these countries because our military is so great, right? But we don't get anything out of that investment. We don't get anything. All right. So we sit there and we pay for all this shit. Medicines is another good one. We invent all the medicines. All right. And then we give it away. And then, that's how we contribute. All right. And then we also give them money, right? Like eventually resources run out. We don't have infinite of everything. You know what I'm saying? We are all this money in debt. It's unsustainable. At some point, I have to cut you off because I have to pay my bills. I feel like that's the drama that we're having right now. Is we've for the last 50 to 100 years we've given away all this money and done all this cool shit, right? And things have gotten out of hand. Our fucking budget is blown, all right. And now we're trying to scale back, and then you got all these other fucking countries over here like, dude, you always give me this money, man. You always let me borrow the 20. Well, I don't have a 20 to let you borrow. I gotta fucking pay my rent.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for Trump, unfortunately, because like he's obviously under like a million microscopes, and like every little move he makes is immediately criticized by millions. But like it's just he's very bad at not burning bridges. Like he's a stone cold businessman running like Trump hotels, whatever the fuck. And he's the fucking you're fired guy. Like he's not used to attempting to maintain bridges that he doesn't feel he needs to maintain. And in his egomania, he feels as if he does not need to maintain any bridge with any other world leader besides maybe the fucking Israel one. And he's just like fuck you, either do this or we're done. Whereas I feel like this could be done in a way where you kind of sit down with each of them and we're like, listen, shit's fucked right now, okay? We can't just be throwing this shit around. We gotta like figure our shit out. We might have to start charging you a little bit more for your import, and maybe we can negotiate a tariff rate that isn't so bad. Just like try to slowly fix the problem instead of just like burning the bridges and hoping that the fallout isn't enough that people hate you forever.
I just think that they're bridges that they don't want to cross, right? Because like Well, Canada's a good example, right? Canada is already not doing well. All right. So we go to Canada, we're like, hey, we're not doing well. We want to take care of ourselves right now. And Canada's like, dude, I've been smoking meth and I've been staying at your house all this time. All right. I ain't got my life together yet. You're just going to kick me out. And you're like, well, yeah, it's my house. I can't afford to keep you around any longer. I'm going to take care of myself. Right. I feel like that's the kind of situation that we're having right now. You know, we've been helping these countries for so long. We want to take care of ourselves, but they're fucking mad about it. All
But
right.
Trump is not willing to like be the smaller guy. Like he has to
We
have
don't
the
have to be.
he
We don't
has to
have to
have
be.
the
Like,
biggest dick in the room. Like he has to be the smaller guy a little bit if he wants to maintain these relationships that are beneficial to the American people. But he doesn't care about that because he has to have the biggest dick in the room. So he's like, "Fuck these guys. I'm just gonna charge them. I don't care what they do about it." And then when everything is more expensive, he's gonna be like, but my economy is better than ever. Don't pay attention to the fact that eggs are $12. And we're doing great
the
out
thing,
here.
the thing, what's it called? Me and my roommate were having this conversation the other day, all right? Because he was telling me that I needed to just be a smaller person and I shouldn't have acted the way I acted to one of my bosses at work, all right? I was 10 minutes late. It's the first time I've been late in 6 months, all right? Part of the reason I was late because I went and I picked up another employee and brought him to work. So it wasn't like I was just like some irresponsible like dickhead. I was late. I forgot I had to do something and it put me behind. All right. But the thing I was doing was benefiting the company anyway. All right. Because if I didn't give him a ride, he wasn't coming to work because his car broke down. And my boss was trying to be petty and write me up for it. And so I told her, I was like, listen, all right, if you write me up, I'm just going to go home. If I'm going to get a write up, I might as well get a write up for missing the whole day instead of missing 10 minutes. Right. Um, and she ended up having to not give me the write up because she didn't want to close. All right. So when you need somebody for something,
Wow, power
all right.
move. Big power move.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the thing is that when you need somebody for something, you have to be the smaller man. We don't need them. All right. Yeah. Things can get hard, but at least from my perspective here in the United States, right? Like, uh, we've had such a good life, all right, but it's unsustainable. In order to, we're living like we're rich. America has more debt than any of the countries in the whole entire world, right? Like every home in America has air conditioning, and I think it's something crazy like 70% of buildings in Europe don't have air conditioning. Like,
Wow.
like the I'm fucking. I gotta look that up because I'm gonna feel really stupid if I'm like super wrong. I feel like I'm exaggerating that a shit ton.
Take this opportunity to not be affected by the freeze while I check the status of the stream. We're looking good. Everything's
What?
looking nice and crisp. I meant to check the how long we've been going so far. 38 minutes? I didn't know we started that late. But it's only been 38
Oh,
minutes.
it was worse. It was worse than I thought. Approximately 19% of European households have air conditioning.
Wow.
Right?
That's
Like,
that's
I,
fucked.
yeah, but people don't understand like the things that we have in the United States compared to but what about heating? What about heating?
Oh good. We're talking to Grok, I assume, or ChatGPT.
Yeah, I always use ChatGPT for quick shit. But
Are
anyway,
you a ChatGPTer still? I feel like Grok is better at like laying shit out.
I've never even used it. What is that X's thing?
Yeah, that's X's one, and they recently it was Twitter Premium exclusive for a long time, and then they recently rolled it out to everybody. And I think it's pretty good. Like I kind of just use that now instead of ChatGPT. Like they're
To be
both just like
fair,
silly little chatbots that can like do research for you or generate stupid bullshit and fan fiction for you if you want them to. But like I think it's better at like laying information out than ChatGPT is.
But anyway, um, the thought process about heating units. The reason why I wanted to think about that because it says right here, 93 to 96% of households have central heating units. So I was, the air conditioners may be bad because I believe certain parts of Europe is extremely fucking cold, but I still feel like 18% is extremely low.
They're slumming it over there in Europe.
Uh, I'm sure there's some better examples too, and there are countries that definitely have better qualities of life than the United States, right? Like I'm not saying that all of Europe is fucking worse than America. I'm not trying to like brag and say how fucking amazing America is, but there is a lot of things like in America that a lot of other countries don't have. All right, and it's one of those things where like I feel like things have been good for far too long. If that makes sense. You can't keep spending money you don't have and expect things not to fucking go south.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree entirely with the move. I just think it's too aggressive. And like there was a way to roll it out softer. But maybe I'm just naive. Maybe Trump's got the right
Even
idea. Who
even
knows?
even even then though, you have to sit there. You have to want to bring you to the dark side here with this fucking line of questioning, right? You're mad about his implementation, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck Trump," right? But why aren't people mad that any politician haven't been trying to do this shit sooner?
I mean, that also sucks. Like the tariff stuff was kind of new information for me as far as the other countries having imposed the tariffs on us. But like I mean, yeah, I already knew like generally that there was sketchy shit going on and that like world leaders of any country are not to be trusted. And they're all just
Yeah,
trying to wheel and deal for their own benefit, and that includes us. That includes it especially is us.
we are trying to strong arm Greenland right now. Sorry, red, white, blue land.
Red, white, and blue land, of course. So you gotta use the real name that us Trump Americans know.
Like
Uh,
Gulf of I mean America.
Gulf of America. But Brad, I just remembered this, and I want to talk about it. I think I might have come across a lost media case. Okay, because I've had this
Okay.
memory for a long time, and I've talked about it before. I remember. I feel like very clearly a trailer for the film Elmo and Grouchland, the Sesame Street theatrical film Elmo and Grouchland, where the song Brick House plays. You know that song goes like Brick House. You ever heard that one?
No,
It's like an old
I've
like
never watched Sesame Street anyway.
no, this is not a Sesame Street song. This is like an old like 70s disco song.
Oh,
But like a lot of people know it. It's like brick. It's like a whole silly thing, but like it doesn't matter. So I feel like I remember very clearly this song playing in a trailer in Elmo and Grouchland, and I could never find it. So for a while I was like, maybe I'm wrong. The song apparently plays in Muppets in Space. So I was like, maybe I'm just thinking of Muppets in Space, but I'm stupid. But then today, I looked into it again. I decided to see if AI could help me on this quest. And it could not help me to find the trailer I was looking for. But what it did inform me of, that I was able to confirm on IMDb, is that the song Brick House was supposed to be in the movie Elmo and Grouchland in like a disco scene, but it was cut from the final film. So this song is connected to this movie in some way. So now that has me thinking again.
oh,
Maybe I'm
the
right.
plot thickens. Yeah,
Maybe I'm right. Maybe this was like an early cut trailer that was included on some random VHS that has the scene that they cut from the movie with the song Brick House in it. Like
that
this might
is
be
that is.
real.
Yeah, the plot thickens. Yeah. What's it called? This reminds me of this weird story. So on 4chan, there was this like lost media thing, and this guy on 4chan posted a picture of an album. All right, and he's like, "Hey man, I got this album, and I like it. The music's pretty cool, and I want to find this band." All right, and they fucking did all of this fucking hoopla and all this like determination, and they couldn't find the band, couldn't find the band, couldn't find the band. And like 4 years later of them searching of this one photo, they ended up finding the band, and the band ended up being what's it called? It ended up being a bunch of 19-year-olds who started a band and created an album when they were 19, and now they're 30, and they made this album like 20 years ago. All right, and they only did one album, and that was it. All right. Well, because for the last 4 years you've had thousands of people like trying to find this fucking bands. All right. They actually 20 years after their first album, all right, became popular. They started a YouTube channel and they go on tour now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is fucking cool. And their music's not bad. Hold on. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. What their fucking name is. Okay, Chat GBT. What is the name of 4chan Lost Media Band?
Survey says
Oh, Pachos. That's what it's called. Pachos. Is that right? Fucking. Apparently, there's been a lot of lost media found on fucking 4chan. So, like,
I'd
it took me a minute
imagine
to figure out.
they're like running investigations to like find abused cats, so I'm sure they're also good at finding lost media.
No, it's Panchikos. Sorry, Panchiko. Look them up. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up after the show. That's interesting.
They what's it called? Their band is called Death Metal. Or sorry, the fucking cover of this is the Death Metal and has an anime girl on it. That was the I guess the original album cover that they had. I don't know. Just fucking awesome though. I just thought it was a fucking killer story. That shit's wild to me.
That is really cool.
Uh, never know how life is on the internet, you know? You say the N-word one time and they find that shit.
Just like Keemstar. Man, I fucking hate Keemstar. They talk about people living rent free in your head and how that's bad and how you lose if that's the case. But I never had a chance at winning against Keemstar to begin with, so I'll admit wholeheartedly that I do let Keemstar live rent free in my head. That guy really upsets me.
I don't think there is anybody on the internet that genuinely upsets me. I mean, they upset me like, oh, like you're fucking bad, but not like that bad. It's like
It's all the only people that really upset me are the people who like used to be good and are like now the worst. Like that's the problem because like Keemstar. The thing about Keemstar is his like big show that he does now, Locale Live, for like the first year was like a really good podcast that I was really into. And then Boogie2988 faked cancer. And they did a big stream about it, and it was the most popular live stream ever to happen on YouTube or some shit. So Keemstar saw the dollar signs and was like, okay, so now we have to fake a bunch of scandals and just like do this for the rest of our lives. So now Locale Live has been reduced to complete like WWE kayfabe where they just like invent a new controversy every week, and like the hosts get fired and rehired every week, and it's just like reality show garbage now. Whereas it used to be like a genuinely interesting podcast where like you got to kind of explore the lives of Boogie 2988 and Wings of Redemption, who are two like legendary internet lolcows. Just kind of like hear how their brain works, let them kind of talk candidly about their weird pasts. They would like own the haters sometimes. They'd have haters on and like destroy them in debates because all of their haters are like incompetent fuckbags who just want to watch other people burn. And it was just like this beautiful thing for a while. And then Keemstar saw those dollar signs after the cancer stream, and Boogie 298 and Rings of Redemption are sellout pussies who are willing to do whatever Keemstar says as long as they get a paycheck at the end of the month. So the whole show is ruined.
I just imagine that Kate, when you talked about like the people who are fired and rehired. I don't know what it is today, but I can't fucking speak with the shit. What's it called? You take 1 week off from fucking podcasting and you come back and you can't fucking speak English, but whatever. When you were talking about the fucking staff being fired and hired every weekend, it reminded me of that Keel and Peele skit with the fucking it was supposed to be like Chopped, and they were in the cooking show. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
This is the best dish I've ever had. If I was dying or some dumb shit like that, I imagine that's what I imagine. Like that's Keemstar's. Like you're a pedo. I was wrong. You're rehired, but you're a rapist.
That literally happened. That happened, and he's not. He's still a pedophile, probably. That's an interesting part. So this is weird. I don't know whether to believe this or not. I don't know if it's complete Lolcow Live kayfabe or not. But from what I'm told, Kid Behind a Camera, who is a very famous old YouTuber, like if you remember Angry Grandpa, Kid Behind a Camera was
Yeah.
behind that. And he's good friends with Boogie, who's one of the main guys in Lolcow Live. And when Keemstar started his new business strategy, which is just to have like 17 different podcasts with 17 different cast of hosts that are all part of the Lolcow universe. And the first spin-off show they did was Lolcow Queens, which is just it's female lolcows. But that show was like managed in the same way Keemstar manages Lolcow Live by Kid Behind a Camera. And then it came out the Kid Behind a Camera's ex-wife. I think they got divorced recently. Kid Behind a Camera's ex-wife apparently met Kid Behind a Camera when she was 15 and lied about her age for 2 years. And then he found out when she was 17, which still a minor, and they stayed together. That is the story. And then they fired Kid Behind a Camera when this came out. And then all the Lolcow hosts had like a big protest in his honor. And Keemstar rehired him. And it's like, but wait, isn't he a pedophile? What do you mean?
That would be interesting.
She was 17 she was still a minor when you found out.
So my thing is like, let's say he did find out when he was 18 or when she was 18. Are you obligated to dump her at that point?
No, I don't think you are, but if you find out when she's 17, I think you are.
Yeah, but you love this person. You're basically your girlfriend for 2 years.
And also I think morally you probably should, even like a couple years up from that. Like maybe if you were together for like 10 years and she's 25 now and you find out she was 15 when you started dating, it's like, well, that's gross and I could have gone to prison, but those days are long behind us. But
Yeah,
if you
but
find out when she's
but
17 or 18,
2 years is a long time, right? And like I feel like the relevancy of when she was going to turn 18 is also important because, like, yeah, if you find out on her 17th birthday, Yeah, makes sense. I'd
And
feel
also, people make the good
I'd
point
feel
of like,
differently. But the point is, I would
bro.
feel. Hold on. The point is, I would feel differently is if he was with his girl for 2 years, and then he found out 3 months from her birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also like some other people have pointed out, and this is all hearsay, but
What's
like it's good points. But like where because she graduated high school, so it's like where did you think your girlfriend was going Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, I don't see how you could be with somebody for 2 years and not fucking figure out that they're a minor.
That you see,
All right, but
that's the idea. But everybody was like, "No, kid behind the camera is a
I'm
great
not.
guy. We
Listen, hold
love
on.
kid
First
behind
off,
the camera."
let me be 100% clear. I'm not talking about kid behind the camera specifically. I'm just talking about because when I started this conversation, I said, "What an interesting idea of like what happens if you knew your girlfriend or you didn't know your girlfriend was underage until like 2 years of that meeting her, and then she turns 18. Like, what do you do?"
I feel
Because it
like
does happen. It does happen. Women do lie, and they are underage, and they do trick men. Right? It does happen. So it's not like it's like, and to me,
the
it's one of those things where
relationship would
like,
have to be at least 5 years old, and she would have to be at least 20 when you found out. I think that's my minimum morally acceptable to stay with them threshold. 5 year relationship, like absolutely in love. She's already like 20, so those days are long behind you, and you find
see,
out this deep, dirty secret.
I'm gonna use this analogy. I keep telling people like my friends or whatever. It's like who are straight specifically. It's like, okay, yeah, so you're a manly man, macho man. You're a fucking right wing Andrew Tate, right? How much money would it take to suck a dick? And they're like, oh, never fucking. Good heavens, I'm a
Mo
fucking
does
Christian
this.
man. I could
Me,
never.
it was
All
like a
right.
bit for a long time that we kept trying to get Mo to agree to gay hypothetic. Like we put him in situations where it's like you literally have no other option. You have to like sexually interact with a man in some way. The question is which way would you choose? And he'd be like, "I'd just kick his ass," or like stupid non-answers, and he'd refuse to play along.
Uh, but I'll tell my friends, I'll be like, $1 billion. You're telling me you wouldn't suck a dick for $1 bajillion? You would never have 5 minutes, never have to work again. Nobody has to know. It'll just be
I would
something.
suck a
The only
dick.
bad side
I
is
would
that in the
suck a
back of
dick.
your mind, you said what?
I would suck a dick for the amount. Find me the cheapest house like on Zillow that's like close to me, and whatever it costs to buy that house outright, that is the price I will suck a dick for. So
Okay, hold on.
we're talking
You're
like
gonna have to
five. We're talking
you
like
have to add that
$500,000.
you have to add another asterisk, and you have to say that it has to be livable, like not some fucking like there's a fucking hole in the
Yeah,
wall,
yeah, yeah,
right?
like a regular house. Like we're probably talking like $400,000
An
for me to
actual
suck a
livable
dick.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but no, but I was telling them, what's the lowest amount? So this goes back to what we were arguing about, though, is right. If a girl is 17, says she's 18, but let's say if you're like 40 or 50 or some like grossly high age, it's like gross no matter
Yeah,
what,
you shouldn't have been
right?
in
But
that.
like,
You shouldn't have been in
but
a
like
relationship with a 19-year-old. So, like, if she
anyway,
was
right?
secretly 17.
But the point is like if you were like I'm 23, right? If I was 23, I go to a bar. Well, probably not a bar because then you're supposed to at least be 21, and that would piss me off. But like, you tell me you're 18, but you turn 18 in 3 days. It's like, okay, whatever. Like you're
No,
basically
no,
18.
no, 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 no. Brad, you can't say that. Dude, that's a big foul.
I wouldn't. I would already be pissed off. I would already be pissed off. And like, because I had this happen with a girl already. Uh,
What? Wait!
no, 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 no. Hold on. Just listen. I was um I was 19, she was 18, all right? But she was still in high school, right? When we met, she didn't
Oh,
tell me she was
is
in high
that not
school.
cool? Is that not allowed? 1
I'm not
year
gonna
age
date
gap,
anyone.
but she's still in high school. Is that bad?
No, but the point that I'm making is like, uh, fucking, you gotta be distracted. The point that I'm making is if you were 18, 19 years old, all right, and a girl is uh like 1 week from her birthday, right? Would you fault a man for staying with her? That's the question I'm asking. All right. Now, obviously, when you're much, much older, there's no excuse at all, right? Because like
Yeah.
if you're like I would honestly say 20 is the youngest I would go, where you're just like, no way, hard foul always, right? But if you have a guy who's 18 and the girl turns 18 in a week, right? That's not a fucking pedophile. You get what I'm saying? I'm asking you, what's the
It's
minimum
not
age?
it's like you just have to it's like a pedophile litmus test. Like it's not the most morally reprehensible thing you could do, but it's like, bro, she's a minor, just like don't. Like that's all you got to do is just don't do that. Go
I've
somewhere
always been
else.
big. I've always been big on like I've always been big on like just no. If I'm not 100% certain, I'm not doing anything. Right? I honestly think, and I've had this conversation with my mom. On a first date, that's one of the first things I like doing is here's my ID. Let's just check each other's IDs.
That feels so awkward to initiate. Maybe it's just like my autism, but like I feel like that's like a very hard thing to broach. Is like, can we exchange IDs real quick?
Well, it would be different. It'll be different if you're on the older side and you're dealing with older people. Like if you're fucking 40 and you're dating someone who's also 40, it's like, you're not gonna fucking ID them, right? But the point that I'm making is like if you're 18, all right,
I know,
you can't be
young, but the
hanging
thing
out with
is,
17 year
I
olds,
hang out with a lot of young women. That came out wrong, but like I hang out with a lot of like of age, but just barely women like in my life that I know, like from work and stuff. And I feel like those types of people would like get offended if you thought that maybe they were a
They do.
minor.
They do. That's why I want to
Yeah.
normalize it. Because that was the issue. That was the issue that I had though, right? What ended up happening is with the girl, I was 19, she was 18. I met her at work. The only time I seen her was at work. I didn't know her. All right. But we were I asked her if we she wanted to try to make it like to date. I was like, hey, you want to try to date? Right? And what's it called? As I was talking to her, and we were getting to know each other over the course of like 2 weeks, right? She had made a comment about school. And at first, I just went, oh, she's in college, right? And then she mentioned high school. And when she mentioned high school, I was like, hey, this is a red flag to me. Here's my ID. Show me your ID. I want to make sure you're 18 before I continue. And she's like, oh, so I'm a fucking liar? And I'm like, no, you're not a liar. You're a stranger who I have never met before, who I have never talked to before until this last week where we
I just
kind of
found
started
you
talking
just said that you were
occasionally.
in high school, and like that means there's a 1 in 4 chance that I'm good to go here, so I'm gonna need to check.
Right? Um, what's it called? So yeah, one of those things that's like I would feel safer. Like this is something that, you know, if you are 17, not only is it morally like wrong, but like this could fuck my whole life over.
Yeah, I could go to
Right? Like it's just
fucking
not.
jail. That's the thing. That's why it should.
Yeah,
You're
you know
right.
what I'm
It shouldn't be
saying? Like,
awkward, but it feels awkward, and like obviously you tried to do it, and you got that response. So it's not an unreasonable fear that it seems awkward.
to me though, when you have someone who's mature, they understand, right? And I don't want to be with
Hmm.
somebody who can't see my perspective anyway, right? If I sit there and I tell you how I feel, like, listen, these are the risks associated with me not doing this, right? I don't want to take these risks. I don't feel comfortable with this, right? This would make me feel very more comfortable. Just as you want to feel comfortable, right? I am a stranger. You're not going to come to my fucking house. All right. You're not going to start going to the middle of fucking nowhere with me. All right. Because I'm a guy and you're a girl, and that would make you uncomfortable because I could be a literal rapist. You don't fucking know. Uh, anyone who like I say these things to and they don't understand it from their perspective, I don't want to be with anyone.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But man, age gap
Um,
discourse is so weird. Like I feel like the
it
goalpost
is a
keeps
hard
getting
conversation,
shifted.
right? Because and it's fucking harder to make an intellectual point. Intellectual, blah 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 blah
But
blah.
I'm not talking about these conversations, these
Yeah,
weird
this right now.
hypotheticals about like minors. I'm talking about like actual age gap discourse between adults of the age of consent. And like how people are like so like the goalposts keep shifting on like what according to like Zoomer society is acceptable as far as an age gap goes.
It's definitely a gray area. I don't think there's any like right or wrong
Because
answer.
like
Well, there is
I
wrong
was
answers. There is wrong. Shut up. There is wrong answers.
there's wrong
Fucking.
answers. Okay, here's where I
Uh,
was like, this is the first
uh,
time I was checked on an age gap that I was like, that's not correct, right? I was 21, I believe, maybe 20, but I don't want to oversell it. I believe I was 21, and I had a big crush on a girl who's 18, and Demi Gloom told me that it was a no go and I shouldn't do it because of age gap.
see, see, but see, no, see, that's not bad because 41 and 43 is not bad, right?
Yeah.
If you think of it like that. But the point is, and this is the conversation I was specifically having you with this with guys talking to girls, right? Because 18, just because you're 18 and you're a woman doesn't mean that you have to be like all men shouldn't touch you with the pole because you're 18. All right. At that point, you're an adult. You're either close to or you have graduated college or not college, fucking high school. I don't know what it is with
High
people
school.
today. I can't
The
talk.
still in high school thing is an interesting angle. Like,
Yeah, it's one of those things like
where it's like
18 and in high school would be terrible.
if you met them in high school and it was like a 2 year age gap high school thing, because I think between minors 2 year age gap is always morally acceptable. Like 16 and 18, 15 and 17, fine age gaps. And then obviously you grow up, and if the relationship continues, you get to the point where it's like 16 and 18, 17 and 19, which is
This is a prime example of what I was trying to explain to you is what is the minimum number where someone like him wouldn't be a pedophile, right? Because like if you met her,
if
you're
you met her
18,
in high
she's
school.
17. No, hold on, hold on, hold on. But just imagine this, right? You're 18, she's 17, all right? But she turns 18 in 2 days, right? And you find out 2 years later. Do you sit there and go, oh, our relationship is based off a lie? You get what I'm saying?
No, not when you're 18, because I think that age gap is fine. Like, it's a little weird if you didn't meet them in high school, but like,
Okay, but hear me out though, right? You're 21, all right? She's 17, all right? 2 years later, you found out that she was 17, but only by 2 days. That's not a pedophile.
yeah, no, probably not.
That's just she lied, and it's unfortunate. You get what I'm saying? Now, obviously, it's a very thin line. Obviously, there are wrong answers, right? If you're fucking 80 and she was 17, and then 2 years later you find out, yeah, you're probably a fucking pedophile.
Yeah,
All right,
kid
cool,
behind
makes
the
sense.
camera, I feel like was just over the line. I think he was like late 20s, and like that's like,
Yeah. How did you not know? I mean, for sure, right? But you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Such an interesting question. Such a demonetization kind of question.
It's a weird. It's that's the unfortunate thing about these types of things is like you can't talk about them without everybody
And they're
being
so
like, oh,
interesting, though.
pedophile,
It's so interesting.
pedophile. And it's like, no, we're
I
just
find it.
trying to figure out like who we need to send to jail and who we don't need to send to jail. Okay,
It's not even that.
we're
It's
trying to
not even
figure
that.
it
It's like
out intellectually instead of just having an emotional fucking trigger response.
it's not even that. It's also like who do I want to beat their ass and who is okay,
Yeah,
right?
who do we want to murder and who do we want to just tell to hey, cut it out?
Uh, because it's one of those things where like pedophiles are the worst people on earth, right? They're not people. You can compare them to non-humans. All right.
Yes, that is like the worst thing you could be. Like unequivocally. Like
All right.
Nazi,
I
bad,
feel
but
like
not as bad. A pedophile,
I
I
feel
think
like
that's the worst thing.
I feel like if you were 21 and you find out that your girlfriend of 2 years was 17, but she was 17 and 364 days old when you met her, and she lied to you about it, and it's been 2 years, and for whatever
If it was
reason,
just a day, yeah. Like
all right.
the
So,
situation that
and then
started this to remind you was like
scientifically, how old does that have? When do you have to go? Right? Is it a week? Is it 6 months? 6 months
it's
probably you're a
not
pedophile.
it's not 2 years because the girl in this case was 15. So that's the wrong
Yeah, for
answer, I
sure. Yeah,
think.
15 is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you find out in 2 years, she would already be fucking 21. All right. He is 100% wrong because not only it's double whammy. He stayed with her after he found out she was 17, and she met him when he was 15. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's the crazy shit. And nobody cares!
But then, I don't know, that's what really sparked the conversation to me is like, what happens if she was 18? Still wrong. I still think like after, but that was my thought process of like, where's the line at?
I think it's like, it depends on, I understand that like a relationship is hard to throw away, but like, it would have to be like a really hard relationship to throw away. Because if it's just like a little hard, then I'm like, just swallow your
Yeah, but
pride, bro.
2 years though,
But like,
right?
I think it's
But
like,
there's no way you can tell me that you're with a 15-year-old for 2 years
and
and
you
like
don't know. Yeah, exactly.
it would have to be some like weird shit where she has no parents. Like, is she some orphan that is emancipated, that lives on her own and has a job
No,
and
I
also
think
just
she
happens to go to
does
school?
have. I think she does have parents who know him.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out right now, right? I could see a world where you're like, dude, she has her own apartment. She's an emancipated minor. She has a job. She just told me that she instead
Man,
of working from,
can tell
you
the
know what I'm
line
saying?
here. Be careful. Be careful.
I just in my mind I just keep thinking these like hypothetical situations of like if my roommate came to me and was like, dude, this is my girlfriend of 2 years who I could have swore was 18, was actually 15. I was like, dude, how did you not know? And he's like, well, she has her own apartment. She's an emancipated minor. She has no parents. I've never seen her fucking parents. All right. She has a job. She works at fucking Subway, but she lies to me. Instead of saying that she's there from 5 to fucking 8, she's there from fucking at 5 to 8 instead.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
she's secretly going to
I
high
could,
school.
and it's one of those things where like there's enough situations where it's like there's no way he has that. You know what I'm
It's like
saying?
she
Like he
could.
would.
I
But
didn't even think
imagine if he goes
about
out and
that.
says this,
You, that's
right?
an interesting angle. That's an interesting. I didn't think about having, because my idea was like she could have told him that she was working, but then why did he never go anywhere near her job in 2 years? But that's a good point. That she had, if she had an after school job, and she said that she was just at that job the whole time. That's interesting.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like you could. There's so many lies you could do, but you can't fake all of that, right? You can't have a job and have no parents and
Yeah.
whatever. It would be like that's what I'm saying. Like it would have to be this crazy like she was emancipated, bro. She fucking lives on her own. She pays her own bills. She fucking talks about insurance, right? Fucking yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd have to be the most like 0.001%.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh fucking I don't like these insinuations when I was poorly explaining this bullshit. Uh Captain Blackbeard, Captain Blackbread, whatever his fucking name is, that loser. He said, "Hey Riley, what do you think about the recording of the issue crew?" Question mark.
I have not
The H and
listened
the
to it
R.
yet.
the H and the R were capitalized, and he used proper punctuation. I feel like that's relevant information since I'm reading and I'm in charge of the
Fair
chat.
enough. Did you say that loser just like as a bit, or do you have problems with Captain Blackbread?
Oh no, anybody I like I trash. If I
Okay,
don't,
fair
you
enough.
know this or that.
I do know that, but I didn't know. I haven't really seen you interact with Captain Blackbread much, so I didn't know if this is a genuine that guy's a
No,
loser
he's
or a real
I
or a
fucking
joke one.
I like that guy. That guy's chill.
I know that Andrew didn't like that guy. That's the drama is that we all think that secretly Andrew quit the issue crew because Captain Blackbread made fun of his hair. He claims it was just because he got busy, which he did get busy, but I think it was also because Captain Blackbread made fun of his hair.
Riley, where's your tinfoil hat at?
I gotta put my tinfoil hat on for this. This is my conspiracy theory. Andrew and his curly hair. I hear Andrew has a mullet
He got
now. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Demi
he
Gloom's
said he
tripping.
got auto corrected. What does that mean? Because your grammar and your punctuation and your capital letters and all his fancy smancy English you're doing, it's perfect. Oh, his name. He spelled your name wrong. I forgot that your name is spelled
Yeah,
wrong.
my name is goofed. It's stupid.
I see how intelligent you are, and I can only imagine that your mother just couldn't spell.
It shouldn't be hard to imagine. I'm not very intelligent.
Uh, uh. I've met so many people, and it's like, yeah, you're not very smart, and your name, no one has had that spelling of name ever.
Yeah.
So, can only imagine your mother.
I genuinely like I feel I'm so like self-deprecating sometimes. I have these weird mood swings where sometimes I'm like I'm putting out some good shit. That was a funny ass podcast I just did. And sometimes I'm like I'm literally like brain dead, zero IQ, just spouting garbage into a microphone that nobody would ever want to hear ever because I'm
I
so stupid.
I feel like I've been taking this one very seriously, and I feel like today I've just been so garbage. I have a dry mouth, so I keep fucking stuttering and slurring my words, and then I keep saying fucking all the time because I'm frustrated.
I do a lot of umming and ahhing, and I really want to stop. And I think it might be like intrinsically ironed into my brain. Like I think I have might have an or like a fucking verbal tick because I just can't stop.
You kept trying to do it too. You kept trying to go
Yeah, I know. I was really trying to keep it in.
You kept trying to do it because you were actively thinking about not doing it. That
Yeah,
was funny.
exactly. That's
Now
the
it's kind of
word.
got the V.
It will literally like destroy my mental state. Like some Gingy will make this joke every once in a while, or somebody on like Gingy's show will make the joke because it's a running joke from that show, and they'll just like hear me say or ah, and they'll be like, "Oh, there's one," and from there, like my day will be ruined.
I've always said I
Oh,
explain this to my friends too, because everybody they always go with the hypothetical situations. The suck a dick one always gets them. So I don't do that. I always hit them with the. So how much money would it take for you to work at Finboy Hooters? That's a far better question.
a lot of guys will be willing to be gay in that way. Like they won't be willing to do any sexual contact, but they will be willing to like serve cunt in a gay way.
Dude, I would do it. I would do it, but I would do it. I'd have to be making some crazy money, but I would do it. Like 200K plus a year. How much would you do it for a year? Because like your parents and stuff, you don't have to tell them you work for Fim. Yeah, I work at a restaurant in Little Rock. It's a little. You wouldn't know it.
I would do it for like if I could make like $24 an hour, I would work at Fanboy Hooters. If I could work like a full 40-hour schedule at like $24 an hour, I would work at Fanboy Hooters.
24 times 40 times 50. So you would do it for what I'm making now.
Yes.
$49,000 a year. Black Bread said serve cunt, never heard of that.
Oh, is
Yeah,
Blackbread like
you're right.
listening?
Yeah, he's
Is he
in the chat,
here?
like chatting it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have show non-video participants off. Oh, that's why I don't know that he's here.
What's it called? Black Bread is right though. Women don't exist, so you can't serve cunt.
True, true. Women aren't real. Oh wait, you mean Captain Blackbread's in the YouTube chat, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant he was in the call.
Oh no, he's not in the call. No.
Okay. That's where I got confused. I kind of forgot we were doing a stream for a minute, and I was like, "Is he in the call? I don't see him."
Um. Yeah, you can come in the chat. So the death stream, we actually, if you want to come in and like join the, I'm not a mod on his YouTube channel, which is crazy.
I got to mod you on the YouTube channel. I was talking about Discord, which I think you are a mod on the Discord.
Oh no, I am a mod on the Discord. I've got Michael the Pokemon's old role.
Did Michael the Pokemon have a role in this server? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. No, he because you started this that long ago. He used to be in the server, and what's it called? The role was originally the Pokemon, because his Discord name was Michael. And then when you gave it to me, you changed it from the Pokemon to the Badman, and that's why it's the Badman.
Okay.
That's some lore that is like 8 years old, so he forgot about it.
Wait, no, you're wrong
Kinda
about
like-
this. I'm sorry to destroy your like childhood and like ruin everything about what your stories you believe, but that's not true at all. I think that's just a coincidence because I did not name that role. Andrew named
did.
that role that time that I just gave him my Discord for like a couple weeks.
Okay, well then maybe he changed. Well, I do know that I have the original Pokemon's title. Because when he
Okay.
left, you instead of making, I believe this was before you even made mods. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I do know that his color was this color too. I don't fucking remember.
Do not forget.
Breaking your fucking legs.
That's true. You got to break my legs.
I'll never forget that shit. God, dude, my beer is almost empty. I need more drinks. My mouth is so fucking dry.
This
I
fucking
think it's 'cause I'm
weed, this
drinking a
fucking
fucking
weed
beer.
seltzer ain't shit. Like I've been hitting the pen all night. I'm not any higher than last night when I hit the pen all night and didn't drink the seltzer. So this seltzer was bullshit.
You got to be careful with fucking edibles, man. Like that shit will fuck you up.
And then sometimes it ain't shit, and this is one of those times.
Man, I took an edible once, and it was a Rice Krispie, and this was like one of my first edibles I ever had. And the guy who sold it to me didn't tell me that I was supposed to eat it in like fourths. So I ate the whole thing. It was an hour or so. I didn't feel anything. I got hungry, and I left, and my whole world was spinning. Like if I got stopped by a cop, I probably would have got a like a not a DUI because I was walking, public intoxication because I was I was way fucked up.
My first edible experience was I was hanging out with my buddy Patrick, and I've told this story. I don't know if I've implicated him.
Cap, you don't have friends.
Like,
Cap, you don't have friends.
No, you're right. You're right, Brad. I don't have friends. I have friend. I have one friend. His name is Patrick, and he's the only person I spend time with. And so I was hanging out with Patrick. This is before Patrick was even driving. This is like we used to just like walk around the neighborhood and do shit. And we did these peach ring edibles. And we went to the trampoline park. And then Patrick just started saying some crazy ass shit to the clerk at the trampoline park. And then we got into the trampoline park afterward. Like he like he was doing this whole routine about like you know what they say about big socks, like that bit, and like
Yeah.
then he like asked the question about like he asked if we had to return the jump socks, and then he clarified the reason he was asking is because he didn't want to spread his AIDS via the jump socks. Blasted out of my mind, and every time he pulls this shit, I get like so deathly embarrassed and like horrified that I'm going to be implicated in it. So I'm just like sitting there like a deer in headlights as Patrick's doing this routine. And then we get in there and we're sitting at the table, we're like getting ready to jump, storing our shoes or whatever. And the like owner of the place walks up to us and and starts interrogating us. Thankfully Patrick did all the talking and the guy seemed fine with that. So I was not as implicated as I could have been. But yeah, we got interrogated. And Patrick just like claimed that she was lying. And then he was like, "Well, well, if I hear something again, I'm gonna kick you out." We were like, "Sir, yes, sir." And then like 10 minutes later, we were on the trampolines. And we were doing the thing you're not supposed to do, where we both jumped on like the same little square to try to like maximize our heightage. And
Yeah.
the guy who was watching the trampolines told us not to do that. And Patrick was like, "Yeah, sorry, this guy's really fucking fat." And somehow we didn't get kicked out for that. But yeah, we had a good time jumping on trampolines while high on edibles. And then we went to the ice cream shop. And by this point, I was like beat. Like I was very sleepy high. And like, it was weird. I was so. I was
Were you sleepy high or were you just fat and exhausted because you burned too many
I
calories?
was I was fat and exhausted, and I was sleepy high, and it created this sort of state where I was experiencing real life, could remembering a dream. And so we get to the ice cream shop, and I'm like dead on the table, and I'm like, "Listen," I handed Patrick my debit card, and I was like, "Listen, I don't have the wherewithal to go up there and like pick something on the menu and order it. I just need you to get me like the most like fruity, gooey bullshit you can. I'm putting my full trust in you to get me like a gooey, fruity Sunday type of situation." And he was like, "I got you." And he brought me back a banana split. And I became one with this banana split in a spiritual sense. This was the most like angelic eating experience I've ever had in my life. Was I was high as shit on peach ring edibles after going to a trampoline park, and I just like was meekly eating a banana split, sucking it off the spoon like it's fucking soup. And it was the most like angelic experience I'd ever had.
How ironic is it today, out of all of the stories that we've been talking about today, the one that I feel like was best described and was the most entertaining was the fat guy talking about the food he ate 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago too, but I'll always remember.
Fucking
And then there was the more recent
we
edible
we
situation
we were
where
talking. We've been talking about all this random bullshit, but the fat guy talking about the son he ate 3 years ago, that was the best described one so far.
yeah, I think so. But there was another edible situation more recently where this was I quit weed for a while. And before I quit weed, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a big last hurrah because I'm going out with Patrick tonight, so I'm gonna get a bunch of weed gummies, and I'm just gonna like we're gonna have them, and then just he's gonna take it home with him. Like I'm just gonna give it to him. We're gonna have one big last hurrah and do all the weed we want to do, and then he can take all of it home, and I'm gonna quit weed. So I decided to pregame, and I made the mistake of eating like half the bag of gummies. That you're not supposed to do that. Like you're supposed to take like one or two. And I took like 20 or something. And that was not wise. I think I
You
was
probably
like
just you probably just stared at a wall.
I was sick of like I was like I keep trying to get high, I'm not getting high. This is fucking bullshit. I gotta heavy dose this shit. So I ate like 20 weed gummies. And then Patrick canceled on me. And I was like upset about that because I wanted to hang out and I wanted to
Well,
give
of
him the
course, I
weed so I could
explained to you
quit
that you
weed.
had no friends.
Yeah, I only had I only had the one friend. So I was like, maybe if I walk to work and I like meet him there, I can convince him to not cancel on me. Because sometimes he'll just like get tired and like impulse cancel on me. So like maybe I can I can talk him out of it if I like. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna walk to work, and it was nighttime, and I had just taken 20 edibles, and I started walking. That's what happens to me when I get like really high. Is like things get yellow, so I'm like, I'm stumbling around, everything's yellow. And then I start hallucinating like gunshots and screams that aren't real. Unless they were, but I never came
I
anywhere near
didn't
them.
I didn't know you could fucking hallucinate off of weed.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard other cases, but like maybe the gunshots and screams were real, and I was just lucky enough that I didn't see anything. But I assume it was a hallucination. I just started hearing gunshots and screams, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn around. And then I went home, and by the time I got home, I had reached such a state that like the moment this like sliding door right behind me, the sliding glass door, like the moment I closed it, I just like started leaning against it, and I was like, shit, like I don't know if I can move. And I was like leaning into the door so hard that I was afraid I was gonna like smash through it. And I was like, oh god, oh jeez. Thankfully, my sleeping situation was just on the floor in this room at the time, as it is again now, because it's too hot to sleep in my bedroom again. It's a whole thing. We don't have central air. Um, so all I had to do was just like walk 3 steps and then lay down on the floor, and I was in bed. So thankfully, it was not a super complicated process, but it was is rough. And then I was just like high for like 3 days.
So your story reminded me of a story of one time when I was in high school. We had this teacher that was really, really fat. I don't remember her name because we only had it for 1 year. Uh, but she taught math. Teach, I'm going to use that term very loosely because she didn't do any teaching. All right. She tried really hard for like the first 2 weeks. And then, kids, they kind of like try to find the line and then they'll push you as far as you'll let them. That makes sense? Uh, Well, she let the bad kids really push her buttons, and then she couldn't really control her class because she didn't have control of the class. She wasn't being very effective of teaching. And so, very early on, she just gave up. And instead of her actually teaching and doing her job, she just like give us a packet and tell us to figure it out and then give us a test a week later.
Bro, my school broke my math teacher. I don't know if I've told this story. I feel like I might have told the story on the show before. But my math teacher in high school, I think it was my senior year math teacher, but maybe it was my junior year.
Hold on, let
Um,
me finish. Let me finish my story because my story's not over with.
oh, sorry,
So
sorry.
anyway, so she wouldn't teach us, right? And people hated her. All right.
Okay.
And she's this big, huge, fat woman. And she was sitting in those chairs that have the wheels on them, and it broke. And this wheel flew from off the chair and hit the cabinet. So you have the rows of desks, right? It went through the rows and hit the cabinet and took that cabinet off its hinges. If that wheel would have hit somebody in the face, they would have died.
Shit.
So we almost watched this fat girl kill a student. It was crazy.
Oh god.
Uh, but when she went down like you were describing, like you know how like you were saying you were leaning up against the door and like slid down.
Yeah.
She grabbed two desks and slowly went down, and she was like, "Oh no, oh no, I'm falling!" And then she like fell on her back like a turtle and couldn't get up. They had to like bring people to like help her get up.
Well, that's not.
It
I didn't do
reminded
that. I didn't slide. The floor was my bed, so I just like walked over to where my pillows were and laid down.
but yeah, she literally landed on her back like a turtle. It was crazy. I'll never forget that. We used to make when we were kids. We used to make so much fun of her over that.
I was in like his one good class where they didn't fuck with him. And he like came out to us one day, and he told us that he was quitting. And he like gave this whole speech about how like he couldn't handle it anymore. And he literally started crying in the midst of this speech. Like we broke him. Not we. I was in the good boy class, but as a collective, our school broke him.
That's crazy.
And then he left. And then he left, and he got replaced by a guy who like I kind of liked. And I had like the best grade I'd had in a math class since like elementary school with this new guy. And then either he did some creep shit, so he got fired not for like super creep shit. Like I think he was like the story of why he got fired was he was just like touching a girl's arm uncomfortably. But I heard that that was just like fake, and that some girl wanted him fired because she didn't like him.
God, that's one of the things I like. I've always wanted to be a teacher, but that's always one of those things. Like it would suck so bad to be in a room with minors that can lie and
Yeah.
get you in trouble just because they don't like you, and that's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah, it's like maybe it was just rumor mill. Maybe he was seriously like a creep and needed to go, but like I heard a rumor that it was fake. But either way, it was unfortunate because I had a good grade in math for the first time in forever. Because I guess he was just teaching it in a way I understood and like was and then he left and he got replaced by this substitute who was like, "We're gonna give you this big math test, but don't worry, it doesn't count." And then we all took the test and then it counted.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Did anybody fail it?
I feel like I had to have failed it because I didn't know how to do math.
Is there any other topics we wanted? I tried to wait for black bread, even though I was really ready to end this shit.
Yeah, I feel like we got a good flow going, but like, yeah, I do gotta like go to bed at some point. Work in the morning because I only got one day off because of fucking
How long?
mandatory overtime bullshit.
How long has the stream been?
I think. Let's check. An hour 38. Oh,
That's
sorry,
good
I started
numbers.
cleaning up my area. It's cool. Okay, yeah. So Captain Blackbread's cool. He got too distracted with cleaning up his area.
Yeah, I gotta clean mine. Mine is terrible. I would show y'all, but I'm embarrassed. I got a bunch of cans and shit everywhere that I need to throw away.
I want to one more teacher story because I thought of this one and it's funny. And then we'll close it out. There was this chemistry teacher I had in this like I used to go to this like smart boys school for
Cap,
smart boys.
cap,
I wasn't a
cap.
smart boy. The thing is, it wasn't actually
We
a smart.
know.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, it wasn't actually a smart boy school. Like, you didn't have to be a smart boy to get into the school, but like the school was known for producing smart boys. Um, and so I was there. I was there for a while. And in that
They
school,
really failed on you,
they
huh?
really fucked it up on me. In that school, we had
uh,
this was like she sucked, and everybody hated her. And she also like she was not prepared to be teaching the smart boys school because there were multiple situations in which she was being corrected on the way she graded something, and she was very stubborn about it.
God, it
So,
would piss me off too if like I was 40 and like some smug 17-year-old was like, "Hey, you don't know how to add, bitch," and then just
but if the
slap the paper
17-year
down.
old is correct, then that's kind of your bad, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but just imagine, like, uh, like 4 or 5 times a week, you just have some smug, listen here, bitch, fucking did math wrong.
All right, fuck it. You guys wanted to You were doing a teacher story. I really had to get in on this. Mine's really short though.
You can do
Okay,
that
yeah,
since
let
you
me.
have some other. Hold on, since you have another guy here, I'm gonna go use the restroom because I've been having to go for a while now.
You don't want to hear the end of my teacher story?
I
Oh
got to
well,
shit. I've
yeah.
had to shit for 30 minutes. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to end the stream. But
Okay,
you got
well,
another guy here. You've got content, so I can go to the
okay.
bathroom.
Well, I hope he doesn't take like super long shits or something. I don't know your story.
Okay, so this chemistry teacher, everybody hates her. We we like got in trouble because our English class. We would just go to our English class and like talk shit about our chemistry teacher. And for like a while, our English teacher would play into it because she was like cool with us. She was like the cool hip teacher who was like leveling with us. But then eventually it just got like too much, and she had to be like, okay, no more. No more complaining about the chemistry teacher in my class. So,
Oh
so,
shit.
so very hated chemistry teacher. Amazing ability where like all the shitty teachers like me. Because what I do is even if I don't like an adult authority figure, I show them basic human respect and decency, and then they don't hate my guts. So I was always very nice to this chemistry teacher. And there was a day where we did a lab outside, and I like stuck around afterward to help her clean up, and she told me I was her favorite student. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, great. I'm the fucking most hated person in the school's favorite student. How lovely.
Well, you done fucked up there.
There
Did
was an
anything come of
incident
that?
where I fell
Was there
asleep in
like
her
any sort of
class.
fucking?
I fell
Was there
asleep
a
in.
sock
Sorry,
party
go ahead.
involved?
There's no sock
Uh,
party. But I fell asleep in her class once, and the kid who tried to wake me up got in trouble.
hey, hold on. I just noticed that Brad's thing keeps turning green. I kind of wonder if that's because like we're able to hear him shit. It's like barely picking it up.
Well, I mean, I don't hear it, but
Like he must be shitting real hard because it's turning green.
it is turning green.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna listen for it.
Yeah, I woke up and I'm like, how long was I turned to like my friend next to me, like, how long was I asleep? And he was like, I think like 20, 30 minutes. And I was like, why did nobody wake me up? And he was like, this kid over here tried. And then teacher yelled at him.
And to
Yes,
wake you
she
up.
insisted that I was allowed to sleep.
Oh, and still no sock party. That's nuts. And for those that don't know what I mean by sock party or pillowcase party, basically, you fill up a sock or a pillowcase with whatever hard thing you have. Everybody takes turns whacking you.
Oh God.
Never been on the receiving end.
You've been on the giving end of this before?
No, I haven't been on the giving end either.
Okay,
I
okay.
was gonna leave that as secret though, so whatever. No, I've never been involved with any sock or pillowcase party. Um,
It was
in
so
the
fucked though. I wanted to be woken up. I was like, I
oh,
missed like the whole fucking class. Why didn't anybody wake me up?
I don't know. I feel like my teachers gave up on me my like final year of school. Like I dropped out senior year, and like there were only a couple of classes I gave a shit about. One of them was actually basically advertising class. I still know. I know how to sell you a pen, Riley. I know how to
Good,
sell you a
good.
pen.
I never did advertising class. I did do journalism class for all 4 years of high school. So that was an interesting thing that I did, even though I had no interest in journalism. It was just because,
Yeah,
like, for the first two
mass
years,
media or
it
some
was just
shit.
like, this is a fun class. Like, the teacher's good. Like, whatever. We're doing the yearbook. I'm, like, not doing any of the work and getting credit because I'm good at that. So that's cool. And then journalism in public high school when I went there. was like fucking the school news. Like I just signed up for it because I was like, whatever. I need to pick another elective besides acting and choir, which are the only two ones I really care about. So it's like whatever. I guess I took journalism for 2 years. Might as well take a third. And then in the public high school, journalism was where we did the school news, and I liked being on camera and doing the school news because I am a performance theater kid attention whore. So I then took the class again in senior year because I wanted to be on the school news more. So I took journalism all 4 years of high school, and that's the story.
Oh, wow. I had to sit through all that.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, no, I'm giving you shit. Before I did, the year that I did drop out, yeah, the teachers, they gave up on me. I slept through like consecutively the same couple of classes. And I tried hard not to, but like I would just doze. And like since then, I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just set myself up, but if I had to sit down in a meeting, and thank God the meetings at my job are standing up, but past jobs, if I've had to sit down in a meeting, I start dozing, and people have to wake me back up. Attention, but yeah,
Hey, the weather's getting really crazy around me, so I'm gonna hop off.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap in a few minutes. Don't worry, we won't go on for too long without you.
So Bradley Badley on X, formerly known as Twitter.
but actually, you should just follow me.
Yeah, follow Cats and Black Bread
C
instead.
Blackbread.
Actually,
Yeah, 12 followers is
do I
not
do I look
enough.
like dog shit
That's
on stream now that Brad's not here? Let's see. No, I look normal. Okay.
if I got 406 on YouTube, I should at least have like a quarter of that on X, and I
You
don't.
would think. I think I have more followers on X than I have subscribers on YouTube.
I don't get that. And where are they? Why aren't they watching?
Because they don't actually care. It's just like I say something funny and
But I say funny things on Twitter all the time.
yeah, you just gotta happen to reach the right audience. You have to reply to popular people's shit, and then sometimes people like when you do that.
I guess.
That's how I get all my Twitter attention, is I'll quote tweet or comment on a popular thing with my opinion, and sometimes it'll
Yeah.
pop off.
It's just gambling, I guess,
Pretty
but
much.
just at all.
It's like sometimes it doesn't work out at all. Sometimes I just get like 700 likes on a reply, and I'm like, oh, sick.
Now I'm gonna lasso this shit back in. There was a teacher that I don't know why, but like, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why did I do this? Why were we so fucking annoying to this gal? She was actually kind of younger and hotter. So I don't know what our deal was, but we just kept fucking with her. Like everything would be silent, pop small bubbles, just just to just to piss her off. Oh shit! There was one time, at the end of school, it was like because we had our last period, and we had the chairs that were kind of how do I put it? The legs were C shaped, so like
Yeah, yeah.
you know the chairs I'm talking about.
I know those chairs. I recall those chairs.
Okay, well, she wanted us to stack them upside down. Or no. I think she wanted us to just put the chairs on top of the desks. And then and when people put them upside down. And so one day we put the chairs upside down and backwards and on top of the table. And next day next day we did them at other people's tables so that so she wouldn't know it was us. So we kind of just did it randomly. And opening up that period, the first word she said was, "Okay, so some of you guys stacked your chairs all stupid." She said it with that sort of conviction, and it was the funniest
That's
shit.
pretty funny.
It's like it's something so simple and stupid. Like what do you give a shit how the chairs are stacked up there? But upside down and backwards was a good one.
Cats and Black Bread, have you ever been put in a situation where you like have to snitch on somebody and you feel like the worst human being?
Oh, I'll have to think on that.
Because I had an incident at work once that I just thought about where we had a prank we would do to each other for a while, where we found out there was like a button command you could do on a Windows computer that would make the monitor turn upside down, like the
Yeah.
display. So we would just like do that to each other and then we would fix it and all would be normal. But it happened to me and I forgot what the button combo was. So I was like trying to operate my computer while it was upside down. And then my supervisor walked over and like asked me what's going on. And like at that moment I'm like, I can't think of an excuse. I have to say my friend did answer.
There's an easy answer that could have been like, oh, I dropped my water bottle on the keyboard and then this happened.
Okay,
Which
yeah,
is easily believable.
I was it was a high pressure situation, and I was like, oh god, oh geez, what do I say? And I just said the truth, and it was like, oh, I should have said
Or
that.
you could have just been like, no, I work better this way.
Yeah, I'm in my element this way. This is my like quirk. I have to do it upside down.
Yeah. All
But
right, so
anyway,
I was actually kind of recently, I don't even remember what it was, but I wasn't, or it was somebody had gone and like messed up a few parts, and then because I was the one training him, I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna fucking tell anybody about this. I can handle it. Until the supervisor walked over and was like, "What's up with these parts?" I'm like, ah, shit. I'm like, well, I can't tell them that I did that. I would never fuck that up, and he knows that. So I'm like, well, not that it was a big deal, but I feel like I threw him under the bus, but I kind of had to.
yeah, it's an unfortunate thing when you have to throw people under the bus. You get put in a lot of situations where it feels like it's the only option. But it's like, shit, I hate that I have to betray my fellow man to live this existence.
Uh, Shit. I only heard half of the last bit of that. I heard you guys' green out stories.
What about Green Out? Oh. Fucking,
So what are
Green
you
Out.
greening out now? Shit.
I am greening out right now, but
Oh.
I'm trying to, because I talked about Green Out earlier.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I had it playing while I was like putting up posters and shit.
But did we say the
Finally
term green?
decided
Did we
to
have
do
the
that.
conversation about the term Green Out? Or did we just say Green Out? Did we?
Well, you guys were talking about the situation in which you take too much weed.
Yes, I found out about that term today. And I'm trying to remember how that happened.
Well, I don't
Oh, I think
know.
it was when I was talking to Demi Gloom that I found. I think that was on the trans fat experience that I found out about the term green out.
Oh. Well, I've only greened out just once.
How was that? What
And
was it? What's your green out story?
oh fuck. Yeah, okay, so it went like this. I was given, and I think maybe I'm just a lightweight when it comes to a lot of shit like this, like booze.
Sure.
I don't know, I might have built a tolerance recently through a issue crew episode, I don't know. But
I did hear the last issue crew episode was boozy. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm probably gonna edit it tomorrow, but I've heard there was some boozing going on.
I'll edit it and send it out as soon as possible. It's wicked. You can
Okay.
even learn. Actually, I'm not going to say what you can learn. Actually, don't watch it.
I
Don't
I,
listen
I
to it.
asked Warficus for links and name and like credit names for the guests, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. So
Oh, it's Jackie, and oh, what's her name? She's been on before. I just can't remember
I don't
the
think
name.
she has been.
Kyber Bitchling Feral Good Girl as
Oh, oh
name.
yeah, I think I just
Kai was
credited her
on
as
there.
Kai. Okay.
Yeah, Kai and Jackie were on, and Jackie's lover, whom I forgot the name,
Did Jackie's
but
lover
they
bring
were
in
on
an
the same.
issue?
Yeah, he did actually,
Okay.
or at gender not confirmed on that one. I guess from what I heard, I would say he, but I don't recall.
Yeah.
Um.
So I'm interested in that episode. I'm sure it's gonna be a certified banger.
Oh fuck! It's Pink came in to give some information that shouldn't have been given,
Is it shouldn't have
but
been given as in I have to cut this out, or are we letting it ride here?
I'll leave it up to you. It just makes me look. I don't know.
Captain
You
Blackbread,
see, you
I
think
listen to
about
the
the
show.
average penis
If I
size.
listen to the
What?
show, which I don't often, if I listen to the show, it's after I've put it out. Like I'll like do like a quality check. Like I'll listen to 5 minutes and do a quality check, and just run it through all my robots and send it out. So I'm probably not even going to hear what this was until it already goes out.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I don't
it's
know if
not
it
getting
should be
cut
out
unless
there.
you need to, unless you really need it to be, and I have to go find
It
it.
does. I don't care if you guys have this info, but I don't know if the info should be out there online. I think it
Interesting.
needs to be a surprise.
Well, folks, if you hear this and then listen to the issue crew, let's see if you can guess what it was or if it was even there at all.
True dick size was mentioned. And I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not you want to cut it out.
Did you and Pink Lemonade talk about fucking?
No, not necessarily. I don't remember how my
Not
dick size was brought up.
necessarily. That's not no.
Well, I mean, the story has to come up once in a while, the legend, that the video that is in fact out there, but I will not say, like,
Oh, the
who
story, the classic
and where.
tale.
Oh my god, is that the neighbor's motorcycle coming
Everybody
through?
knows the classic tale. We've told that on the show before.
That is the neighbor's annoying ass motorcycle coming through. Hey, everybody, you got a neighbor like that?
Am I tripping? Is the tale not public?
The tail is public.
Okay.
In fact,
Is that not what you were
scavenger
talking
hunt.
about? Was it something else?
Well, yeah, anybody that finds that, that's probably what we were talking about when it came up. But yeah, Pink just blurted out my true dick size. And while I'm not really worried about that necessarily, I feel like maybe that shouldn't be out there.
Nah, I'm leaving that in. You no longer have a say in this.
All right. Well, whatever. I ain't ashamed.
It's important. It's important scientific information. The world needs to know.
Black bread lore, true dick size. Next
Blackbread
episode.
lore dropping soon. That's the big preview. That's what's gonna get the people to tune in.
Big preview.
We should get Dick Stat. There was actually, I never heard if like it actually happened or if like it was a bit, but like Tommy C ran this campaign on his show. His producer's
Who's
like
Tommy C?
he's like a drama commentator, live stream guy. He used to be on Locale Live and then they fired him and that's when the show went to shit. And he used to he was the guy, I don't know if you remember the Baited podcast with Keemstar. That was like the big thing he did way back in 2016. Tommy C was on
Yeah,
that.
you got the wrong guy for some of
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
really. I would not be keeping up with Keemstar. The last time I kept up with Keemstar was when I kept up with iDubbbz.
Well, that would have been like 2016. That would have been like Baited podcast time.
Yeah, but the reason that I kept up with Keemstar was because I kept up with iDubbbz.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But like
The Keemstar episode.
they definitely talked about drama about iDubbbz. I think iDubbbz might have won on the show, but like it was like a huge podcast that Keemstar had. Like apparently Apparently, it was doing
I know
better
that
than
Keemstar has
Rogan.
a podcast. I know it's called Drama Alert. I have
Joe,
not
that's not
seen
a,
an episode
that's
of Drama
not what his
Alert, but I
podcast
saw
is
the
called.
Content Cop.
He has a show called
It's not
Drama
called Drama
Alert.
Alert?
He has a show called Drama Alert, but it's just like a shitty 3-minute YouTube news show. He also has like real podcasts, and the most famous one was called Baited. And apparently back in 2016 when it was airing, it would like sometimes it would do better than like Joe Rogan did that week. Like that's how big Baited was.
Oh, wow.
So and baited was Keemstar, Colossal is Crazy, and Tommy C until it wasn't because Keemstar can't get along with anybody and he fought them and got kicked them both off the show. And then Colossal is Crazy came back, but Tommy didn't. And then they worked together again on Locale Live years later, and Keemstar screwed him over again. It was a whole thing. But this is completely irrelevant besides the answer of the question, who is Tommy C? The point is, Tommy C does his own live podcast, and his producer is like a younger lady who like nobody, she's faceless, nobody gets to see her. And they ran a campaign one week where it's like, okay, if we get X number of super chats, my producer will measure her breasts and give like exact stats as to the like length and width and circumference and like all the stats of her tits. Like you don't get to see them, but you get to hear the exact specifications.
So you just sit there and imagine.
Yes, so that you can have a perfect picture in your mind down to the inch of exactly what the tits look like.
Wow, that's see, I
So
don't know anybody
so
that
I
just
feel like we should do that with your cock. Is what I'm saying.
oh we need like girth and shit.
Yeah. Get like exact stats on your cock.
Oh, I think it's quite how to do that. I'd have to like get I don't have one of
You need
those
like
measuring
a
tapes that like
measuring tape.
wraps around.
Yeah, yeah.
I just know. See, here's the thing that like no, I feel like the people that hate me like Andrew and Redux, they're gonna go and listen now because they want it to be small, and I'll never tell you. You'll have to
True.
listen.
You had to listen to the episode to know the
Yep,
truth.
could be small. Could
I know that Redox doesn't watch the show because he hates Brad. Who's the other one we're worried about?
I know the Redux has got a small cock.
I know that Redox has a small dick.
Yeah, get on here, Redux. You got a small dick. It's like the size of this walnut, only smaller.
They're calling him Small Dick Redox. That's what they're saying. That's what the people are saying.
And here's what my dong looks like.
And you have to like unfurl it like a garden hose.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like two balls and a bong. All points. No quills, no pillows. It's missing you, isn't it? You haven't seen the clip.
I don't know if I have seen the clip.
You haven't seen Eggman pisses on the moon.
Oh, of course I've seen Eggman pisses on the moon. I just the reference didn't click in my head, but of course I've seen Eggman pisses on the moon.
Wasn't I supposed to tell my greening out story or something?
Yeah, greening out, and then we should wrap because my co-host
Then
has
we
been
started
gone
talking
for
about
like
my
a half
dick.
hour. So
Yeah. My dick, bigger or smaller than a bridge. Find out on the issue crew. Demi Gloom can spit rhymes, so she can make the song. Okay. So I was playing some Smash, the one on the computer where it's melee. Slippy, that's what it was called.
yeah, okay.
I was playing a few rounds of melee with my friends, and like I was Pink walked by, handed me 10 milligram edible, and I was like, oh, that's probably not a lot, right? Because like one joint is 1 gram, but I didn't understand the way that it works inside of you, where it starts to disintegrate and go directly into you. So 10 milligrams went in kind of slow, and at some point, like I closed out everything and started playing really fucking well. And then it all started getting really sloppy, and then like my muscles started to relax, and I was just like, okay. I'm like, oh shit. Hey, I'm gonna go, guys. Something's wrong. I stand up and like I feel my heart slowing down, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm about to die. Like, oh, I need to keep my heart going. So I'm just
Oh
pacing
no.
all around the house. Like, I gotta keep my heart moving. If I don't keep my heart moving, I'm gonna die.
Oh no, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I don't want to die.
And I was like, I was trying to call someone at the time whom I was very close to for a while, but am no longer associated with. I would love to say it was my fault, but it wasn't. I told that story, I feel like, a few times. Me and roommates don't mix. But um anyway, fucking I was just like fucking not even on the grid. She was camping. And so I was leaving all sorts of voicemails. And like the next morning, um like when I finally managed to fall asleep, because I go back to bed. Pink is telling me you're gonna be fine. You know, it's gonna wear off. You'll be all right. You just like, no, 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 it's not. I'm gonna die. And so I can't sleep.
I've
Like, I feel myself drifting off. I'm like, no, 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 I gotta stay awake or else I'm gonna die. And
never I've
that was
never
my green
had
out.
I've never really had that level of anxiety while high.
Uh, well, yeah, I don't do well to feeling a lot of new feelings unless I know what the feeling is. It's weird. So I've had this reaction with alcohol for the first time, with not with pot for the first time, just because it was, such a low dose. I kind of knew what it would do somehow, but because of that, I will never take an edible ever again. I'm just not interested.
Okay, he's got a fucking phobia of
Yeah,
it now.
my friend had called the next morning like, dude, your messages are fucking whack. Like, you are just fucking tripping the fuck out.
I still want to try like traditional like some like brownies edibles because like I've only had like the prepackaged like
It's
gummy bullshit. Like I want to bake
it's the
some pot
same thing.
brownies and enjoy them.
Yeah, see, I the only thing I worry about when it comes to that is that it's just gonna be it's just gonna make me want to eat more of the brownies.
Yeah,
You want to have it something disgusting. You might as well have sweet tart, but it's pot. Not something that I'm gonna want to eat a lot of, like brownies.
they also like you can do anything with cannabis butter as it turns out. Like people will make like whole fucking like country dinners that are cannabis infused, and that sounds great.
Why wouldn't you just get hungrier?
Yeah.
Is that not subtraction soup?
Subtraction soup.
Ah, fuck. Okay. The Phantom Toll Booth, it's a children's novel. You either heard it or you haven't.
I have not, as it turns out.
I say heard it because my teacher read it to us. But
I
yeah.
see.
Well, that's all I got. That's the green and out story. Catch my dick on the issue crew.
It's pretty good. We're gonna get
This
Cats and Blackbread's dick stats on the next issue crew.
That's correct. Yep. We measured the head, we measured the hood, we measured the girth. I wrapped around the balls a couple times, measured the balls.
Well, I actually started from the taint. That's where I started the beginning of my cock. My cock's actually 13 inches.
Yeah, if you could, you just got to get the rest out. That's the
It's
trick.
like an Excalibur sword in the stone situation. Like only the chosen one can pull it
That's
all the
right.
way out.
That's the whole point of beating off is that twas a gentle hand, right?
Yeah.
So if you gently pull it out over and over again, it'll get bigger.
True. So true.
That's the trick the doctors don't want you to know about.
The government doesn't want you to know that you can make your dick bigger. Much like
That needs
they
to be
don't
like
want
an-
you to know that the ducks in the park are free. You take them home. I don't know why I like that meme so much. Just like the government doesn't want you to know the ducks are free. You can take them. You can have
Yeah,
the
if you can
ducks if
catch
you
a duck,
want.
you can take it.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Is that not true? Hold on. Like, you can hunt a duck, right?
you can have. Can you just like take a duck and be like, "This is
Yeah,
my
like
duck now"?
if a deer wanders into your yard, can you, if you just like are somehow able to like wrangle it down, can you just take it into your house and then butcher it? You probably don't want to do it in the
Yeah, it's
house,
like you
but
have
you know
to
what I'm
butcher
saying.
it. Where it's like I think the idea of like the ducks. If you took the ducks to the park, like my immediate imagining is like you would have them as pets. In which case, that's probably illegal. But if you're just eating them, cooking some duck up, yeah, just take the ducks.
Yep. Okay. You
Link
want to wrap
tr
this shit up?
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe RIELY Cinematic Universe. That's where all my shit is. You can go there if you want, if you feel so inclined. I guess Captain Blackbird, I'll let you plug. I almost forgot about the fact that I have a guest here. What's going on?
Well, my 1 year of issue crew, I think, is coming up.
Really?
Yeah, it was May
Shit.
of last year, wasn't it?
I don't fucking remember, but I could check. And then, yeah.
It's like maybe a month and a half away.
Wow. We gotta celebrate our
Yep.
Black Bread anniversary somehow.
Oh shit, I don't know. Damn, I can't believe it's already been a year. That was a cool camping trip to come back and find out that I made it on the show, so that was fucking cool. Anyway, follow me on X, C Blackbread. Follow my YouTube channel, Captain Blackbread. I don't know how to. Oh, you know what? I used to say that I stopped saying for some reason.
Yeah.
Search for my music. The Flat Rascals. Uh, Crisis Passing.
Fair enough,
Should be
fair
able to
enough.
find it.
I accidentally missed Random Candor saying, "What's all this then?" So, shout out to Random Candor. Hopefully, it comes on the issue crew again soon.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah,
bigger Blackbreadier cast.
watch it.
I was actually about to start working on it.
Goodbye.